post go? There's my post. I will see if this actually works.
Yeah.
It's all theory until it actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely your headset. That's funny. It's probably just like the cable's old or something.
Yeah, that is likely it. Okay. Okay, here is the actual link here, which I'll send you on Facebook.
Right on. All right, all right, all right. Oh, you know what would help is if I were logged in as me on Facebook instead of the ICs. Jiminy Christmas.
I'm gonna check Discord just to see if it sent a notification.
Let me do this. Copy this.
It did not.
It did not. I wonder if Loopy has it tied to the old YouTube.
You know, it's interesting because when we do new episodes uploaded, it does send the notification there.
So it must. Maybe it just takes a minute or something.
Yeah, that's possible.
Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Switch to me so I can get your link. Oh, why did I do that? There it is. That is for sure a different link.
Yeah. That one actually looks like the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that other one was. It was. Okay. Let me post all this. And then we're good to go. Ooh, the buzzing just stopped, whatever it was.
Nice. It's probably because I relieved a little bit of pressure from this
Oh,
cable
yep,
to
that
type.
buzzing's back. Buzzing's back. All right, posting to the Epic Empire. YouTube thing. Facebook thing. Gave me a weird link, but okay. See how that looks when I post it. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I see what I did wrong. Edit post. Nope, that is the wrong flipping link. It introduced the Facebook piece to it. Damn it. You know what? I'm gonna do this. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I posted that there. And I will post it in the Discord as well.
All right.
Cool. All
Looks like we got 4 people with us so far.
Hooray.
More fun to come.
Thank God. I didn't want to throw like a birthday party and nobody showed up. That would be the worst. That would be the worst. All right. So, Josh, tell me what you're going to be working on over the next couple hours as we work through this hobby progress here.
Yeah, so I'm largely just working on Legions Imperialis today. I am doing this stretch of my. I already have the 2,000 point list done, so I'm doing the tanks that I need for the 3,000 point list.
Okay.
And this is again kind of there's a stretch option for the event at Adepticon that you can do 2,000 as standard or 3,000 if both people agree. And if I get enough reps in, 3,000 would be fun, but yeah, we'll see. It's just future progress and options and things like that.
Gotcha.
How about yourself? What are you working on?
I am also working on some Legions Imperialis stuff, but also working on Black Legion. They're using some of the same colors on the metallics. So I have to assemble 2 more Kratos.
Yeah.
But I have
you definitely want more than 2 of those. They're so good.
Yes. I have this final Kratos that I have to do metallics on. I have 3 more of my rhinos. Look how tiny these things are. I have 3 more rhinos that I got to do metallics on. And then, because I'm sick of them staring at me and making me feel guilty, I have my squad of Black Legion guys that need the metallics on their the weapons and backpacks and a few other little choice pieces. Primarily the silver metallics. And for that, I recently started using, and I know I'm like late to the game on this, the scale color stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, their metallics are phenomenal.
Scale 75.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They cover so good.
Yeah.
So
the pigmentation is crazy. Scale 75 uses a gel as like it's whatever I don't know what you call it, but basically the delivery system of the pigment is in a gel. So they don't work as well through an airbrush because you need their like special thinner and they're just still so thick and pigmented and that hyper matte finish to them. But metallics just with a brush, thin them down just a teeny tiny bit. And
they look so good.
Incredible. Yeah.
And I know you and like Brian Harvey and everybody been talking about. I think Pez has too. And I'm a convert on these.
Yeah,
guys.
Nice. Yeah. Scale 75 metallics has been my favorite for a while. I actually tried doing something new for Legions Imperialis, and it was so thin. It's one of the Vallejo. I just put it away. But I like the color of it really well, and it's an airbrush specific paint. But because the candy red on these tanks is already like it's glossy, I actually did a matte clear coat on top of the candy red in order to give me better surface tension to apply paint onto. Trying to use those metallics without that on the glossy candy red, which just like it basically just is a whiteboard, and it was just like sloshing right off. And it's like, okay, going back to scale.
Yeah. Hey, Shell, can you grab me some paper towels there? I left them over there. Thanks. You can just hand them here so you don't have to come on. She doesn't want to be on camera. It's because she's not wearing pants. She is.
Yeah, not dressed.
I said you're not wearing pants. Thanks. All right. So. And then
I know we talked about it a little bit, but these Fanatic paints are insanely good. Like I love the work time, the coverage. Yeah, I haven't shot them with an airbrush yet, but for just straight paint application so far, it's been amazing.
I've been using this. So the metallic I like for like steel is this thrash metal, the AK.
Yeah,
thrash metal.
Yeah,
I figured Justin would like that. But.
Absolutely, and it's a darker.
Yeah,
like it's a darker silver.
A little bit, yeah. I'm not big on like super bright silvers.
Yeah, and that's a big part of why I tried that Vallejo, the airbrush paint. It's called I think exhaust manifold or something like that.
Yeah,
and so it is kind of that perfect color for treads and things like that. Not too shiny. It just ended up being too thin to work with in this.
There's another one called black metal.
Yeah.
which is pretty good too. So
I've got a Vallejo black metal, which I do like quite a bit. It's a little bit too black for kind of everything, but
yeah. Um, so Steve came over yesterday because he's been painting his Titans
oh, nice. Yeah.
for Adeptus Titanicus and for Legions Imperialis. And he was struggling with the whites, which is it's a tricky doing white, especially because he wasn't using an airbrush for it.
Oh,
And
wow. Yeah.
and I was like, why are you trying to do that with a brush? Like you use your airbrush. He's taken classes from, Caleb and Kat and stuff. So, and he has a number of issues. One, it's loud, and he has a kid that's hypersensitive to some stuff. But I was like, I'm telling you, it will change your world if you do that with an airbrush.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so he bring this light a little closer. And so he came over, and I used I gave him two examples. I used the Dalarani white ink through airbrush, which I was a big fan of when Caleb and Kat showed us how to spray inks through an airbrush, especially white, which is something I've always struggled with. The one issue with it is it can kind of splatter sometimes if you're not real careful.
Yeah, I've had mixed success spraying the Dalerani white inks.
Yeah. And the other one I used was a Vallejo Air white, and man, that was good.
It's a good
that
white.
Was really nice.
The white I just picked up and I've been really happy with so far is the AK Interactive, the
I'm sure
titanium white, the bold titanium white. Yeah, it's I think by far my favorite white to use.
But I think ultimately Steve came over and I showed him in just a few minutes, like here's how you can do it.
Yeah.
And he had brought a couple pieces that he had tried to brush over, and as you know, even when you're doing multiple thin coats of white, unless you're super careful, it gets kind of chalky.
Yeah.
And it gets it develops a texture to it because it just doesn't go on smoothly. And so so he came over, we sprayed it. I sprayed it right over that, and it just smoothed it right out.
Mm-hmm.
It just smoothed it. I mean, I could see that it was still a little bit, there was a little texture there, but it did smooth it right out in just a few minutes. I think it was kind of eye-opening for him,
Nice.
Yeah. And I think, some of it's just like myself and say the oil washes, right?
Yeah.
Some of it's just a lack of confidence because you haven't done it before.
Right.
And then if you sit with somebody who does it, all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's really not that hard to do.
Yeah. The tricky thing with oil wash too is that your model is basically done at that point. And then you're slapping the oil wash on top of it. You're like, I really don't want to ruin this thing that I
makes me a little nervous. Just a little nervous.
Nah, it'll be great.
I'm sure it will. I mean, if Doug could do it, I could do it. If Jody can do it.
I even got Jody to test it out, and he's loving it.
He's a convert. He's a convert. So anyway, it was great success with him coming over the other day. I think it was nice. It was nice to hang out a little bit too.
Nice, yeah. He sent me some stuff maybe a couple of weeks ago of what he had been working on a couple Titans.
Yeah,
it's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah. It's though, and to our for people who are not on the Patreon and haven't listened early to the episode, we talk a little bit about the difference between studios, right? Between the main Games Workshop studio and specialist games. I always want to say, I still want to say Forge World. And specialist games. And the fact that those specialist games are really not for entry level hobbyists. Those Titans are pretty intricate and pretty detailed.
Yeah, a little bit
what's up,
more
Cliff?
advanced to both build and paint. Yeah.
Finally, somebody said something in chat.
Yeah, welcome, Cliff. Cliff's about 3 miles away from me, hopefully painting here too.
Excellent.
One of our Santa Cruz friends here. So welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Hangout, Cliff. Good to have you.
Cliff's good people.
He is good.
So anyway, yeah, it was nice to help Steve out, you know, and kind of pass the knowledge forward. Not that I'm like, and I told him this was the other thing I told him, because I can see where he's struggling a little bit on the Titans.
Yeah.
And to some, he's like, I'm just going to use what are the pins for the
Sharpies?
Sharpie. But he's gotten like the Sharpies that the guys that do Gundam stuff use.
Yeah.
His wife gave him them for Christmas.
Yeah, I tried it for one of the Titans. The Liquitex actually makes some good gold pens.
Yeah.
And it worked decently. It wasn't quite the color I was looking for to match all the existing Titans.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I didn't, but it did make it easy.
And like, I didn't use pens on my Black Legion here because I don't have to, you know. It was on some of my vehicles I have, and it's a nice cheat, to be honest with you.
Yeah. You did on your Helldrake, right?
My Helldrake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But you know, I think and I told him, don't let perfect be the enemy of progress.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I look at my Abaddon and I'm like, he's not quite as good as I had wanted him to be. He's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's pretty good. There's a few things I just kind of like, I've had enough, you know. And it's time to move on.
Yeah,
it's time to start getting some other stuff done so I can actually play this army.
With that being your like centerpiece too, like you can always go back after the fact, after you finish the army, and like, oh, I want to make his face a little bit brighter or something like that.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's actually something I might do, but we'll get to that later, if ever.
Yeah, but as you're saying, perfect is definitely the enemy of done.
Yeah, yeah, and I think sometimes we get too hung up, like people in general get too hung up on you know, is it going to be good, you know? It's like, it's fine. And that's the other thing I told him. I go, you put this on the table, nobody's noticing. We were looking at my Justin M. Was I able to pre-order the final Siege of Terra book? No. I was not. The other voice you hear is Shell, who's moderating this stuff for us. Obviously with the massive amount of scalpers that were on there, I did not get it. Now, our friend Cheyenne, who lives down in Southern California, had gone into a store and bought one because he knew I was trying to get one, and he was kind of watching out for me. And Cheyenne was able to get one that I am buying from him at cost, which is super nice. Like, I super appreciate that from Cheyenne. I do know they go on sale again tomorrow, though, which is actually one of the things I'd written down to kind of, in case we ran out of stuff to yak about. But they have brought them back. Like, Games Workshop basically went through all the orders, deduplicated them, and they won't tell you how they did it, because obviously they don't want to spring that on the enemy, right?
Yeah.
And
take that bot.
Yeah, and they are now with all that, leaves them a bunch of remaining orders, or a remaining product to sell again. So they're putting it out for sale all at the same time globally.
Yeah, nice.
I think it's
second wave.
Yeah, I think ours goes on sale at like 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
I am not gonna try to get like one, because Cheyenne,
you got one lined up.
Yeah, and I want anybody else who potentially, you know, wants one to get one. So I'm covered, fortunately. Thanks for asking, though, Justin. I was very disheartened initially because I had gotten kicked out of the queue, even though I'd been in the queue. And I guess there's a limit. You can only be in the shop for 10 minutes once you get in. So it was really just kind of a gamble as to when you got in and when you get it. unless you're using a bot to get it, which a lot of
Yeah.
I saw on Reddit like that. I made a post about it. That one guy had like bought like 70 copies. It's ridiculous.
Oh wow,
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous.
that's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, and just
You know, I saw
a real disappointment.
just in my news feed, there was an article that came up to me that was saying that Games Workshop similarly was fighting the eBay scalpers
Yeah,
with the
that's
old
it.
world stuff.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me either.
So that similar, they had canceled, I think, duplicate orders and things like that. That wasn't from a shop, and in an order to just curb that supply and demand for the aftermarket
Yeah.
price gouge.
You know what? It's tough though. You're playing defense the entire time.
Yeah.
And you know, the bots, like they're going to change it up every time how they do it. Like you're always on the back foot trying to stop this kind of thing. You know, so what do you do? I mean, people were angry at Games Workshop, and I guess, I mean, to a degree, rightfully so. But at the same time, it's like, well, you know, they take an action like they just took, which I appreciate. Like they heard the community and the community's frustration, and they kind of stepped up and said, you know, hey, we got a problem we got to look at, and so I appreciate that they did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so anyway, you know, going back to Steve real quick. So yeah, one of the points about Abaddon, one of the points I had made to him was, you know, nobody's going to notice this on the table. Like you got to just not worry too much about the details sometimes. And then I pointed out, I've got all these Sisters of Battle assembled, right? That someday I'll get to painting. And I said, I know I did like a bunch of custom work on some of them as I was assembling them. Like in some cases where they're not wearing helmets, like I drilled out a helmet and like attached it to their belt and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's one of these. And I'm like looking for it and I can't find it. And I'm like, that just proves my point. Like, right. why did I waste that time?
Because it'll look cool.
Because it'll look cool to me, and I'll get to point out that one model to somebody, you know.
And it does differentiate things. And, you know,
if you see it.
Yeah, but even when you did it, like, even if you can't find it ever again, you at least enjoyed doing that in the moment. And that's hobby time well spent.
That is true. That is true.
Even if you never find it again.
She's somewhere in there. Man, I really like those models. I am messing this all up. I really do like those Sisters models. So those are
they gorgeous sculpts.
Choice sculpts. But
it's really fun how it plays too. I hadn't played them in a couple editions till that game with Craig in early 10th, what after it launched, and there's a lot of neat personality and flavor to them.
There really is. I'm curious to see what their book looks like. I would love to play them. I gotta get these Black Legion. I gotta get a playable force of Black Legion before I touch those guys. So this guy's coming out pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good goal. It's a good goal.
Yep. So that's what I'm doing right here. Right here.
Are you working on tiny tanks?
No, I'm working on Black Legion right now.
Oh, you already jumped over.
You gotta lean into what's inspiring you at that moment.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, if hobby feels like a chore, work on something else.
Yeah. Well, tiny tanks are lovely. I really want to get these done.
Back in 5th edition, I painted 30 tactical Marines for a tournament for my Salamander army, and after that, it was like I had no desire to ever paint
Marines again,
and that still has kind of stuck with me to some degree. That's why I've been dragging my feet a bit on the actual painting of all the Sharkadon Primaris stuff. Like it still just feels like painting Marines, and doing 30 in a batch and against a deadline just kind of took the fun out of it.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you, the first time I opened up that massive box of Tyranids I had bought, and I looked at all those sprues, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? But I dug it out, man. I mean, I worked on that for a while, and that was actually the first army I ever finished painting. But man, that's why when they came out with new gaunts, I was like, no, that's not happening. I don't need those. They're honest, and again, they're beautiful, but you're not going to notice on the table when you're moving 100 of those things.
Yeah, they're not so different from the massive collection you already own and
No,
have
you saw the other
painted.
day when we
Yeah,
played them. I mean, it was like okay.
yeah, very very true to the old ones. So they'll, and I think that's intentional, right? So they'll mix right in.
Yeah.
Still very identifiable at a glance, whichever version you have.
No LVO this year.
No. No LVO this year. I'm not the biggest fan of LVO. Like I'm always cautious because I don't want to disparage it. It's like it's a lot of hard work that those guys do. I have no doubt about that. I've gone a couple times. Shell, you went with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
3 or 4 times.
Yeah. And first off, I've kind of outgrown Las Vegas to a degree. I went a lot in my mid 20s, early 30s. And yeah. Yeah. I think I've had enough of Las Vegas. Not even clubbing, just we would go and I would gamble a lot. Like craps used to be my game that I would play.
Still a dice game, fitting.
Love it. Yeah. I was better at craps actually. I just say I'm gonna roll a hard 2. I'd roll double ones,
Hey man, you're great at rolling 1s and 2s.
Oh god. So freaking good. All right. 2 of these guys down onto the 3rd. So LVO is just it's not my bag. It's I feel like the competitiveness and we were just talking about this too, Josh, like after we had our interviews with the competitive folks for the various armies we were covering. Like I felt like man, they're playing the same game, but it's a different game. Like
yeah.
It was so that sounds so dramatic, but it really is just such a different experience they're going for. It's not better or worse. It's just different.
It's a different approach to it. So it's in the same rule set, even if you're not if you're just doing out of the book match play, but you're playing it in a competitive environment, then that kind of conversation and approach to the game is different, even if you are playing with the exact same rules, right?
Yeah, it really is so different. And those guys were amazing to join us for that. I really did appreciate it.
Yeah, those insights were
because I don't have those. That's exactly right. Like I don't have that insight. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about when it comes to most everything. But
yeah. I haven't played in a tournament since 6th edition. I've got my neat little trophy here that I won best overall at KublaCon and hung up my my spurs.
You won best overall at KublaCon?
Yeah.
You know what I won?
Best sportsmanship.
Best sportsman, baby.
The Carl Tuttle special. Absolutely.
I'm the king of best sport. Let me let you all in on a secret on how you win best sportsman. You continue to roll 2s and not get an attitude about it. And if you can make your opponent apologize for your rolling, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you're rolling so bad," and you're just like, that's okay. I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Well, that
best sportsman incoming.
The G3 event we were at in Chico, my opponent was apologizing for my dice rolls as well, and it's like, honestly, I was apologizing back to him, and that I wasn't able to give him a better game just because it ended up being so one-sided, and the dice just said, "Nope, not today."
I will say my dice were pretty hot that game.
Nice.
Which overcame my lack of strategy.
Hey, winning is a strategy.
I had a warhound that just would not die.
If you can make those shields, some games you'll just keep making all those shields.
I'm telling you,
like all those void shields.
It was amazing how frustrating that warhound was for my opponent. Loved it. Loved it. All right, making some good progress here. So speaking of Titans and Titanicus, the other thing Steve brought up when he was here was that he felt like there weren't as many Titans in Legions Imperialis as he had expected, and I agree. Like, as we were kind of talking about, like, in order to bring out some of these bigger Titans, you're gonna have to play a massive game of Imperialis.
Oh yeah. They have.
Feels like it takes the place of Apocalypse.
Well, it's interesting, and I'll be curious to play it. And I can already guarantee you, it's not the way I'm going to want to play Legions Imperialis because there is Titanicus, but they're coming out with a variant for it, which is a 6,000 point game of only Titans.
Why would you just not play Titanicus?
But I 100% like I will play it once and probably be like, okay, cool. It's just watered down Titanicus. Like I'd really rather jump into the kind of nuanced maneuverability, all the asset management, the resource management that Titanicus brings.
It's a little more crunchy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, there's a way more kind of that very specific. Like again, LI, I think Legions Imperialis is a very nuanced game and a lot of tactics and strategy based upon that. But when you're only playing Titans, you are losing a lot compared to what Titanicus offers.
Yeah, just Titanicus.
Every game.
So fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you can it's interesting looking in the rule book for Legions Imperialis in that a lot of the pictures they're showing, there's at least I think 2 Titans per side.
Yeah.
And knights as well, some knight support.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool and fun. In that game we played, bringing 2 Reavers, I actually felt like I was missing out. Like I wish I'd had more kind of tanks and bodies on the board just for how the game itself actually plays. Because Titans it's a very balanced game. Like I'm loving how balanced it is, but the Titans don't just dominate. Like they only still have so many shots they can put out and how many things they can kill. So when you're having so many points in one unit, you're losing out so many activations, you're losing out so much board position, things like that.
Yep.
I think they actually hit the nail on the head for how Titans should play in the game and how balanced it is versus overpowering. And I think that's true of every unit that I've seen so far.
Interesting.
I
It always starts off good. Let's see what happens as it progresses. I hope they're cautious with it, right? Like, what's the knights that are the problem in Titanicus?
The Acastus Knights.
Acastus Knights, like,
yeah,
to the point where people are like, let's just nobody take them.
Right? Yeah. Hey, Acastus Knights are in Legions Imperialis, and they look just fine.
Yeah.
So at least there's that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point something gets released, whether like Primarchs come or it's a formation, and it breaks the game a little bit. And I think
that's inevitable. I think it's inevitable.
Yeah, something will happen. Something will be out of step, but I think it'll probably be more likely to be addressed. The fact that they're not tied into terminals and things like that for this compared to Titanicus does make it easier for them to FAQ like stat changes and things like that.
That's true. The terminals in Adeptus Titanicus make it very difficult to change.
Yeah, when you have printed cardstock materials that are hard for them to stock anyways.
That's something I hadn't thought about. Yeah. Yeah, God, you can hardly ever get those things in stock too. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about board games.
Yeah.
What have you been playing board game wise lately?
The latest thing I've been playing, which is one of my go-tos, is Dwellings of Elder Vale.
Oh, have you?
Got a couple plays of that. Yeah, it delivers every single time. Who
did you play with?
Steph. Steph actually really enjoys playing with it. Yeah.
You hear, Shell? See?
Yeah.
She keeps saying we should play it, and I'm like, I don't know if it's really good for 2 players. Is it really good 2-player?
I think it plays well at 2. I think the sweet spot is probably 3 players for that game, but it's fun at 2.
Okay.
I've played it a lot at like 3 and 5, and I think 5 is actually a little bit too many. I think there's just a little bit too much downtime in between turns.
Yeah.
Well, and every time I have a group around and I say, let's play that, let's play Dwellings, Your answer is always, well, I don't feel confident to teach it to people.
I don't feel confident, and you say you do.
And
so.
I think I could do it.
All right. Well,
yeah.
But then we always do something else.
We always do something else.
That game is a little tricky to teach because the end game scoring is 90% of scoring. You're not actually scoring that many points during play. It's all the end game stuff. So people, if they want to be in the game their first time, need to understand how those things trigger, which makes it a lot of information to take in for your first play.
Yeah, yeah. If you guys haven't played Dwellings of Eldervale, though, that is a really, really great game. When it gets going, it's really, really fun. Shell and I played Eldritch Horror the other day.
Yeah.
And
I have not played that one yet. I really need to get that on the table. And
you haven't played it?
I have not. Yeah.
At all, ever. I'm shocked.
I
think
for
it's
how
a
big of a
geekend thing, right?
Yeah, but it also tends to be like 4 people are going to play that for 8 hours, and if you're not in that one session, you missed it.
That's true. It doesn't take 8 hours.
We didn't play 8 hours.
Yeah, with 2 people, it takes.
Well, in the Geekend though, you end up doing like 2 or 3 missions in a row, and
no, we played the one time we played it at Geekend that I could get everybody to play. We had like 8 players, and that does take
that, and that's why it takes
a long time. Yeah.
I was there for that one, but not in that group. I did come by and check it out a few times because it looks fascinating and it looks right up my alley. But
it's super. Yeah, I think you would really like it. But sometimes you just have those situations like we had where Shell. Okay, so for those who don't know, it's a board game. It's a Cthulhu-based board game. You're trying to stop cultists and these evil gods from coming and destroying the world. And in order to do so, you have to solve 3 mysteries over the course of the game. And completing these mysteries requires a lot of teamwork and that kind of thing.
And the mysteries are connected directly to whatever god is coming.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very thematic. It's like super thematic.
As Cthulhu games tend to be.
I could not get anything going. Like just I could not do anything. At one point, there's these things that come up in the game called rumors, and if you don't solve them, they're constantly causing you an issue. They can even cause you to lose the game. And so there was this rumor, and I had to go try to resolve that. I was the closest. I was like, okay, well, I'll go up here and do this while you go do whatever, solving this other thing. Shell's like solving 2 of the mysteries. I'm still flying around in a plane around the Arctic Circle trying to solve the stupid rumor.
Yeah, like 3 rounds.
Yeah, for like 3 rounds, which is just a tremendous waste of time.
Was that your?
And then you figured it out, but realized you didn't have the clue you needed to.
Yeah. It was just a disaster.
You being kind of lost in your solution, was that just the approach you took to it, or
it was just dumb. It was dumb on my part, and sometimes the dice just don't go your way. As you just declared, I'm good at rolling 1s and 2s, and in this game, you're rolling a pool of dice, and 5s and 6s are your success numbers.
Got it.
This guy looks solid.
Cliff, I could see you and Jen playing that game. It's along the lines we've played with you.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's actually one of my favorites. It really is. Shell was like, "You keep complaining about this. I thought you said it was one of your favorites." I can't get anything going.
Well, so you just said it plays up to 8. Does it also play? Does it play well at 2, or is it a bigger group?
It plays okay at 2.
It plays pretty good at 2.
3 and 4 is the
3
sweet
and 4
spot.
is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
But with more players, we would have had more.
You draw more mythos cards.
Which would have caused more damage. So it's the same kind of thing.
There's never a good
more problems, but more investigators.
Yeah.
Tobias mentioned a game called Scythe. Do we know that one?
Oh yeah.
Josh sure does.
Yeah.
You play that one?
Isn't that the Tobias? Isn't that the one that's like future, but you're kind of like it's a lot of farming and like I think it's literally like trade and farming. It's like a Euro board game, but like you have like mechs, like these mechs that do. I think I'm thinking about the right one. Is it Josh? You might know.
Yeah, from what I'm remembering of that is kind of ballpark to it. Yeah, it's kind of slightly post-apocalypse future. I don't don't actually remember the gameplay all that well. I've only played it one time, so that's why I'm not as sharp on it as most games.
Yeah.
But yeah, that rings pretty true to what I'm recalling about the setting of the game itself.
I have not played Scythe, but we have too many games. And when Shell had the great idea of like, let's buy all these shelves from IKEA and take our guest room and turn it into, it's still a guest room, but it's like where all the games are stored and stuff. And then Shell was like, we need to buy more games to fill these shelves. And we did. And
yeah,
now
Shell said that.
You did.
I did.
You did. Don't put this on me. And then we went through and Shell organized everything. She's like, these shelves are the games we haven't played yet. So we're going to start playing through these games.
Oh, yeah.
We have.
We've done a bunch lately.
Yeah, which has been nice. It's been really nice. I was not really a big board gamer, but man, when your wife's like into board games, all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to support it.
Let's go. Yeah.
I am not going to argue that one. It's fun. We had a good time. Do we have a good time, hon?
We do.
Yeah.
How do we have?
We probably play games 3 nights a week.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Nice.
Right?
That's pretty good.
True. Yeah. We've had a couple run-ins with
Arkham.
With campaign games in general. I think is the issue. And now Shell has not been somebody who has played there you go, Loads of Mechs, Alternative History, 1920s engine building game. Oh, so Shell would probably like that. Shell's really good at the like engine building stuff where you're like, yeah, kicks my ass at that stuff.
I do love a good kind of crunchy engine building Euro game.
Shell was not like a big like Dungeons and Dragons player or hadn't really played campaigns where you invest like a lot in something and then all of a sudden it's killed. And hence Call of Cthulhu. And so when we ran into that with Oathsworn initially, you got kind of like a little frustrated. You're like, I need to take a break from this. I'm frustrated that we just spent all this time building this character up and it's now dead. And I was like, yeah, but you can replace it with this. And you're like, I'm frustrated. Tell me where I'm going off the rails here.
No, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
But I felt like that Oathsworn in particular.
Yeah. We didn't have any indication it was coming.
Particular campaign situation.
Yeah.
Was designed to wipe out our characters.
Yeah. It
really was. Like there was no way.
You were going to lose a person.
Or more.
Oh,
like that was like, it was no, there was no.
And having that as a game strategy.
I will agree. That's pretty poor strategy.
Really frustrated and upset me.
In some ways, it's really cool. Like death may die. A character has to do this, and they're going to die, and that's going to be a thing. Like I love that as a mechanic.
But that will allow everybody to survive.
But that's also not a campaign game where you're
did.
progressively building things up, and now you just have to like
Correct.
sacrifice something you've been working for years to build up. So
and it's also a choice you make.
Yeah,
right. You're choosing. Okay, I'll die, and then you guys can run in and do X. Right.
Right.
This we're reading from the kind of choose your own adventure part of it, and it's like, okay, make this choice, and it's like, okay, well, what's you had no indication that there was one of those choices was you're about to choose to kill yourself. It's like, oh, okay. It reminded me of the choose your own adventure books where it's like, okay, I open the door, turn to page 39, you're dead. It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that escalated
there wasn't
quickly.
really a thematic reason for us
Yeah.
to have to die in that situation.
Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
That was a little frustrating for
So
sure.
that one really frustrated me.
And then we just completed. We've been playing a lot of Arkham Horror Living Card Game, and we just played through the Scarlet Keys campaign, which is the latest one that's come out. They're about to come out with a new one.
Oh, nice.
And we have really enjoyed the Arkham Horror stuff. It has also been, I think, the cause of most of our frustrations with each other during games from time to time.
Really get to know your communication styles playing cooperative games with your spouse.
That is a really great way of putting
It's
it.
a good point. When Carl gets confused or frustrated,
Yep. Go ahead. You can help me.
you start questioning
Everything. Yep.
And then I feel personally questioned.
Yeah, and I'm not. I just want to check the rule because I'm like,
right,
man.
But it's I
can't
understand
be
that
right.
it's you getting frustrated with not understanding what's going on in the game.
Yeah.
But I feel attacked. And then that's where we start button heads.
And generally, Shell's pretty right about it. she generally is. Like every time I look at it, I'm like, why did I even look? You're right again.
Shell's got a good knack for board games.
She does. She really does. She's better at them than I am, to be honest.
Some, not all.
Okay. Yeah. How did you solved 2 of the 3 mysteries on your 2.5 of the 3 mysteries on her own.
Did kind of.
While I was off doinking around in the Arctic and tripping over my own feet. Like I could not. That was a brutal mission.
And then your character died, and you brought in a second one.
Yes.
Which it immediately got shanked.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
What would you call that? Where we hamstrung? Is that what it is?
That's a great word for it. That's a great word for it. Yeah, these are looking good. Okay. Making progress. 5 Marines done. Well.
No, that's it. I've painted 3 tanks since we've been sitting here.
Hang on, let me paint 3 tanks in 1 second.
Yeah. I mean, just because they're this big doesn't mean it doesn't count. These little guys.
Hey, there's Goobertown Hobbies. Look at that.
Well.
Brent, how are you doing, sir? I have not seen Brent since we were playing Traveler with Doug. Doug was running us through a Traveler game. And Brent was a surprise guest that Doug had orchestrated to screw with Ed and Blake from Life After Conversation. It was so funny. He had him in the wings. They didn't know he was coming. And he's awesome. Like, okay, I brought in a surprise guest. Next thing you know, Brent had joined. It was so funny.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I really like our community of people. It's fun.
Good people.
I was just actually watching Brent's breakdown of it's an older video he did about viscosity of paints and how paints are made and stuff. Since Brent's a chemist, he knows all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, the pigmentation and how they break down, they're all so different.
That's crazy.
The characteristics, fascinating. And you find the ones you love and you never look back.
Brent, I know if you're still there, I know. Oh, he is.
We're not going to Adepticon this year, Brent.
No, we're not.
Unfortunately.
I'll be there, but
Josh will be there. Please connect with Josh. But we made the decision to go to Australia instead, and we have to go at that time because that's when the Formula One race is in Melbourne. So we will be in Australia for 3 weeks, unfortunately. Well,
unfortunately, we will be in Australia for 3 weeks.
You're gonna have a great time.
It's gonna be. I'm already
ridiculous statement.
I am already. Yes, I am very excited about it. Don't get me wrong. And we're meeting some people who we've met through the podcast in person finally, that we become friends with.
Multiple people.
Yeah.
You'll have some Adepticon FOMO, and you'll also have an amazing time.
That is a great summary. That is a great summary right there. I was going to say something before I looked up and saw Brent's comment, but what was it? Damn, it was something about Brent. Anyway, it'll come to me. Yeah, so we've been playing, like Shell said, we've been playing like probably 3 board games a week. It's been kind of nice.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Hopefully, games, right? They're not all board games.
Well, yeah, I mean, is
that considered a board game?
Like Arkham Horror? The living card game?
The card
game. I would consider that a board game.
Really?
I mean, you lay out like a map where you're going. Yeah, it uses all cards for the mechanics, but
yeah, I'll count it.
I would still count that up.
Our at-home gameplay really varies depending on Steph's work cycle and how much mental energy she has when she gets home.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, that's us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working part-time right now, it's easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Not working. It's easier.
Yeah, hopefully her new job kicking off in a couple of weeks is going to mean
Yay.
a lot more
That's
board
great.
games again.
That's great. That's great.
Okay. All right, 4th tank done. What are you doing over there?
6th Marine. I'm not racing you. I'm not racing you. Oh, good. Goober Town says he's going to see you at.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you met Brent yet in person?
I don't
Maybe
think
just
we did.
in passing.
Maybe at
Brent is
Adepticon
so
very
nice.
quickly.
I remember what I was going to ask. I'm going to switch topics so I don't lose it. Brent, I know that you were instrumental in some of the Army Painter paints, especially. I don't think the speed stuff you were working on. I think you were working with them on the Fanatic line, and I know that they kind of brought you out there to take a look at that stuff. I'm really curious. I've seen your video about it, but I'm really curious. Are you utilizing those paints in your like kind of regular painting now, or have you gone back to your original? You know, we all get like our original recipes that we work through. Has any of that hobby Army Painter stuff had you switch up your recipes? So I'm just real curious about that. There you go. Smoosh says he'd call it a board game. If you call it a card game, I think more. Yeah, I agree. Like,
I said I see the difference.
Oh, okay.
I commented back.
Okay. Did you?
Did.
All right. Just want to make sure. Okay. Why did I wait so long to do these? Going very quickly. Sometimes you got to just get momentum going. I feel
because
like
Rogue Trader came out. That's why.
Oh my God. Dude, and then
I made the mistake of installing Total War Warhammer 3.
Oh my God.
Which is the strategy.
Yeah.
More RTS style. I guess
tell you
less
how
RTS, but
terrible I am at that game.
But because I've been on such a Legions Imperials kick, it has
you kind of deserve a break, dude. Well, we've also been playing Mohawk.
That's true.
Not what it's called.
Not the name of the game, babe.
Yeah, we call it Mohawk because both our characters have mohawks.
They should have named it Mohawk.
What is it called? Ghost Recon Wildlands, which is an older game, and we're playing on Xbox. Man, I love that game.
That's been a lot of fun. We're pretty close to the end too.
Fanatics are still on his desk. They're solid. Army Painter caught up to the pack. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Mostly I'm just happy with the new painters. Yeah. I think that's a really interesting point.
I've like I was saying earlier, I've really been enjoying the Fanatic paints, but several of my armies that I'm working on are so established. Like I've been painting those armies for 10 years that I'm not going to switch it up. I'm not going to switch it up now, but for future projects, absolutely. I look forward to really diving deeper into those, especially for the upcoming Eldar.
It's the same with like cases and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm a big proponent of KR. I think Daryl, the guy that runs KR, is just super nice. He really cares about his employees. He cares about his customers. He was always a great when we had sponsors like that. Which, by the way, we ended. He didn't. We had ended the show for a while. And I just decided not to do really sponsorships again. We still kind of do. We have Table War and whatever. But I don't know why I'm rambling. Shell's used to it. I would always tell people with they would say, "Oh, I have battle foam, or I have, this set or that set. Should I get KR or should I get Table War or?" And I'd say, well, if you've already established yourself with one set, I would say probably don't switch at that point, unless you
if you like
you have
what
another
it does,
reason. Yeah.
I
just realized I'm getting some area. I have to go back to the guys I just finished because I just realized I was forgetting a spot.
Oh, so your count's going down.
Shut up. Shut your mouth.
Next time we do this, I'll get a more interesting camera angle so you all aren't staring at the top of my head.
I'm also gonna. I think next time we do it too, we can set up dual cameras. So
I'll get a camera set up to actually show
So
what
I'm-
I'm working on. But
I mean,
hopefully you guys are all hobbing around with us and only listening and
guns and
not
you
looking
can't
as much.
see
But
this.
yeah,
I'll get a better camera next time. But mostly we just wanted to kind of test this out. We've been thinking about the other thing it does for us is it forces us to set and schedule some hobby time. That was actually Shell latched onto that real quick. She's like, "Oh, this will force you to do stuff." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's true."
yeah.
So I'm kind of excited about that because I work better under scheduled stuff like this.
Yeah. I've been pretty good at just chipping away for an hour here and there. But
You are. It's the 1 hour a night thing that Paul Rudge taught me.
that's how you get it done.
Yep. It's amazing when you just spend an hour a night working on it, how much you get accomplished. Oh, there's Arya. Hi, Arya.
What time is it in Ireland?
Oh, wow. It's probably 8 hours from now, right? I'm going to guess. We're actually, well, I say we, the company I used to work for is now at 1 a.m. Yeah, that sounds about right. Is opening up offices in Ireland. Not Northern Ireland, we're in Dublin, where we used to have some new offices down there. While they lay off people here.
Lay off everybody in California.
The tech industry is tough right now, man. I'm having a hard time locating something at the moment. But who knows? Who knows? Everything happens for a reason. I honestly believe that, but it is causing me a little stress.
That is understandable.
Yeah.
Similar boat.
I know. We'll get through it, buddy. We'll get through it together.
Yeah. Just gonna paint my way through it.
That's right. That's right.
Paint through the pain.
Okay, so one of the reasons I'm working on and honestly just working on these Black Legion is because I want to play more 40K. Like I have been a little deficient there as we've been kind of exploring Titanicus and now this Legions Imperialis. Yes, you got me involved in.
You're welcome.
I'm telling you, you go back like 4 or 5 episodes and I'm like, I am not doing this. Like I was so adamant that I was not doing this.
I'm pretty sure 4 or 5 episodes ago in that same episode, I called like, yeah, you're going to give in. You're going to love it.
And I ended up selling some 40K stuff that I was still in boxes and wasn't being used. And I was like, you know what? I'll just use this to fund this. Like I can't be throwing new money at it, but I can be throwing.
Yeah. It's actually motivated me to sell off some of the old backlog of stuff that I just know isn't going to happen since I don't have income coming in the same way that I used to. That
you get so
just been good at focusing it and being.
I mean, I know I'm probably the worst at it, and people will probably blame me for a lot of their what they call their pile of shame. I call the pile of opportunity. But you get great ideas for projects and you start them, and then it's like 100 other things come up. And I like Jody's. I'm gonna for Legions Imperialis. I'm not buying a new model till I paint them. Yeah. I'll only buy models if I have everything painted.
I almost have everything.
Hey, look, it's
painted,
Travis.
So.
Is that Travis?
That's Muppet Hitman's Travis.
Yeah, nice.
Muppet Hitman.
Oh,
Counts.
Vampire Counts.
What's
You
that
know,
one?
I wasn't excited about the old world until I read the Legacy Vampire Count PDF they put out, I think yesterday. And it's like, dang it, now I am kind of excited. I already have half the models for it, so
Not doing it.
But I like vampires.
I know
babe.
you do, babe. But
What is this game?
You know what has vampires too? Age of Sigmar.
I actually prefer the old school vampires to the new. I don't like the aesthetic of like the half bat, half vampire guys nearly as much as just your classic vampire.
Yeah, those guys were pretty cool looking. I will admit those guys. I think Aaron has vampire counts. I'm just not a rank and file guy. Like I could never.
Mm.
I couldn't get into it. I know Justin is huge into it too. So actually, Travis, when you come up, we could set up a game with you and Justin. That would be pretty cool to see you guys play through it. You'd be like, live it, just live it, bro.
Nice.
That's what Justin says when you say, "I got line of sight to this." Really, I don't think so. Okay, whatever, just live it, bro.
Yeah, Travis, I'd love to
guy.
check out your army and the extra old school stuff. Well, my second fantasy army ever was back in 5th edition Warhammer Fantasy
Of course
Battles.
you will, Travis.
Was undead before they were in vampire accounts, but the vampires back then were awesome.
I'll dress like a vampire. You know what? He will too.
He will.
Absolutely, he will.
People don't know Travis. If people don't know, Travis's favorite holiday is Halloween.
Oh yeah.
And he goes they go all out. I think they had a Halloween party this year, and they all went as like characters from the Lost Boys.
Yeah, the whole family.
Yeah, it was like a Lost Boys
cool.
themed party. That is really cool. He looked good too. It was funny.
Travis always looks good.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say that. I do like that he brings that to our role playing games too. Like I was never a person that was like, I'm gonna dress in costume, but man, when we were playing through Horror on the Orient Express.
Oh yeah.
You, Doug, Jody, and Travis, and I was running it for Call of Cthulhu. Man, the costumes that Doug and Travis would wear got me buying costume stuff that I was wearing. And when the game went to like Rome, I had like a Roman gladiator helmet.
Still sitting up on the shelf.
Yeah, I'm never getting rid of it. That was such a good time.
Yeah, it was. That was such a great game.
That was a good time. Okay, I brought up. I wrote down a few bullet points of things. Covered that. Oh, t-shirts.
That's right.
Yeah, we have. I'm waiting for the quote to come in.
I was going to ask if the guy called today.
He did call me today, and they had to make some adjustment to the image I sent them for the t-shirt, which is it's the old image. It's the old t-shirt image. We're just doing a reprint of those for this go round. But we got some ideas for new ones, but I finally got around to actually getting in touch with the sales guy over there. He's printing, and what was nice though was he did have all the files, so it was like from our order 6 years ago.
I was gonna say, when was that?
6 years ago.
Quite a while ago.
Yep.
Was it only 6?
Only.
Well, I was looking at Jody's shirt on Friday when we recorded, and it was like his is actually still black and fresh. And
I think I gave him some new ones. I have a bunch of double XL still. Yeah.
Mine is so faded and gray and shrunk and.
Well, you're getting a new one.
Nice.
We got new t-shirts are going to be coming soon. We'll let people order those, and then if we sell out of that batch, we'll do another run.
Yeah, that is exciting. Definitely would love to have a new one to rep for Adepticon.
Oh yeah. Oh, maybe I'll have you take some to Adepticon. Give away as prizes or something.
Yeah, I think I actually need to take a suitcase this year. Because I'm foolishly playing 3 different game systems at Adepticon and flying there, so I need some more storage than I had last year.
That sounds really stupid.
Hey, it's gonna be great.
Oh man, it is. I'm telling you. Now you saw they're changing the VIG thing. They're not doing the VIG like they used to.
Yeah, I am focused enough in the games that I play that hasn't had a lot of appeal because there is a lot of random stuff in there that.
Yep.
I would probably end up selling 90% of it
or throwing away like I did.
Yeah. Like even
that's what happens.
What did we win last year was the Dominion box. And it's like, I just gave it to a guy in an elevator. Like, hey, you play AOS? Here's a Dominion box.
Yeah. GW clearly has a lot of extra Dominion boxes.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that one. Oh man. Progress here. Actual hobby progress. It's weird.
All right, I'm keeping notes on how many things you're working on, and I'm going to see when we record next how much more you've done.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. Hold my feet to the fire a little bit. Okay, just get. Man, some of these new Chaos Space Marines are so good, though. They're so detailed.
To that point you were making earlier about wanting to play more 40K and hence working on the Black Legion stuff. That game we played, the Tyranids vs Sharks, was such a fun game. Fun.
That's what got me excited about it again. I was like,
definitely, it's really got me
that's
excited.
Why we started a podcast about 40K.
It's fun.
It's very fun. Oh man, I wish I could retire. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. I don't know if Cliff's still on here, but he's living that good retired life and just hobbying his butt off right now.
God, I hate Cliff so much. Shell's abandoned her station. Jody was on the latest podcast, yes, and everything I've heard from other people is that yes, his takes were hot. He did bring something up, and I don't remember what it was. Somebody had said that he'd blown my mind on something, and he did say something, and I was like, I had never thought of it that way. That's a really, I can't remember what the topic was. And I'll tell you, when you've done 231 episodes,
it's a blur.
You do not remember. Like people are like, oh yeah, you said this and this, and I'm like, did I? That's funny. That's funny that you remember that. I mean, you know, sometimes you say some things that kind of resonate.
I know one thing that stood out to you was he was talking about the specialist games and like the kind of barrier to entry just being a little bit more involved, and expectations being different for a non.
Maybe that was it, because that has stuck with me. I've been thinking a little bit about that and the comments we made about it being a more complex systems, and you know, it's not really, I don't feel it's really the where people come into the hobby most times. I'm not saying there's not exceptions to that rule, but
yeah,
we also kind of bagged on Battlefleet Gothic a little bit.
Hey, still fun. I've got my cheaty Eldar fleet right here. So,
dude, I have so much Battlefleet Gothic stuff. I mean, I'm not even kidding, but I have played it maybe 4 or 5 times, and each time I play it, I'm like, man, this is just really a very clunky system and outdated.
Yeah, where it stands right now, like I play maybe one game a year, and
Cliff's gotten into sim racing too. Cliff, I have.
Does he have like our level?
I don't know. Cliff, you say you've gotten into sim racing. Do you have a sim racing rig? Is it like a seated rig that you're in, you know, or are you playing kind of sitting in your normal chair? We have a full rig, but I had to
sort of.
Yeah, I had to kind of put it on hold a little bit while I look for a job, because I still need to buy a computer and monitors for that rig. Could do it VR.
So you got a fancy chair right now.
I've got the whole fancy chair thing and steering wheel.
You got a chair with a wheel.
Yeah. That's, you know what? You're exactly right. That's exactly
what is it in our middle of our corner of our living room.
Yep, that's where Shell wanted it.
It's where I want it to be functioning.
Yes, I agree. Listen, you're welcome to go get a job, full-time job, and help me get the sim rig running. But I don't think that's where our priorities are.
Can you put the sim rig up on cinder blocks and put that in front of your house?
Yeah. It's not a NASCAR rig. It's a Formula One.
Sick burn.
Ooh, burn.
Shots fired.
That was pretty good. Yeah. Door was open on that one. Wide open net. What were you saying, Shell? Your full-time job?
My full-time job would never bring us that kind of money.
Your full-time job's keeping me sane at the moment. I don't know. Work. What is it good for?
Just
Stress.
that money.
Money.
That's it. That's all
Insurance. Insurance.
Sim racing.
Sim racing. Board games. I think we got board games that can keep us busy for a while. I've also steered I've steered kind of clear of buying new board games. Now a bunch of Kickstarters are delivering. Buy more plastic crack. Buddy. That is the last thing I need right now is more plastic crack.
You have so much opportunity.
I have so much opportunity. It's coming out my ears, man. I have got opportunity for days. Yeah. What I should be doing, what your statement should have been there was get some painting done, Carl.
More hobby hangouts, get some stuff painted.
That's right. You know, this is going to force me to do this stuff, though. I like this. This is very helpful.
Yeah, especially with that a points update supposed to be dropping in the next week or so. I will definitely need to make some progress on. It's looking like we're taking Marines to Adepticon for the doubles tournament. So,
oh yeah,
I will need to get.
Who are you doing that doubles tournament with?
Cheyenne.
Oh yes, that's right. He just beat up poor Travis in a game. I told Travis to watch out. Cheyenne's a really good player, actually. I think you and he will gel well together, actually.
It was also funny because, I think we both have 3 armies in 40K, and we both have Marines, Necrons, and Eldar.
Yeah, how funny is that?
It's like, okay, well, we got to figure out which one we want to take. If it's Eldar or Marines, I need some painting. If it's Necrons, I've got a ton.
He did a real good job against my demons. When he was playing Blood Angels, man, he was able to mitigate that, 12 toughness on the Lord of Change and stuff, because he would just use abilities that caused wounds on 5s and 6s, as opposed to I was like, no, I was counting on you failing those wounds.
Having that high toughness is such a big part of the game now, but and finding ways of getting around that also a big part of the game. Yeah,
I think that's key. I think that's going to be real key here. All right, I'm getting a little sloppy. Stop doing what you're doing, Carl. All right. I went back, by the way, and fixed those guys already.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So I am on. Oh shit! Shoot, this guy's. I already did this guy. That guy's done. I'm on my last guy right now. Oh, this is the aspiring champion. He's a little more. Got a little more detail on him.
A little more involved.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a great time during our Tyrannid game, to the point where I was seriously looking at my Tyrannids going, oh, maybe I should play Tyrannids more. I'm like, what am I doing?
They're always fun.
They are. I'm glad I have them as the backup army there.
Yeah.
I may sell my I have the Bio Titan.
Yeah.
Unpainted, but assembled. I may sell that off. I don't know when I'm gonna use a Bio Titan anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think Apocalypse is going to happen anytime soon.
No. I think they're focusing that kind of Apocalypse gameplay into Legions Imperialis.
Yeah, which I'm absolutely here for and loving.
I just wish they, we talk about it, but I would really like to see it 40K as opposed to just Horus Heresy. But I also completely understand why you take this path.
Yeah.
It's just financially, it's doable.
Yep. I mean, as soon as Titanicus dropped, everybody's been hoping for that too.
Yeah. Well, if Titanicus sells well, then they'll probably expand at some point. But who knows? Who knows?
I think it has. I'll be curious to see what kind of a bump they get with Legions.
I think the initial splashes sold well.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Were you saying Titanicus?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I was
as
thinking
soon
using
as
the 3DS.
Titanicus came out in 2018, like people immediately you were obviously hoping for
This is true.
Xenos Titans.
Yeah.
And that is completely understandable.
Yeah. And I hope Titanicus does not get abandoned.
Honestly, I've been thinking about it, and even if that game is no
Dead.
updates to it as is, if it's dead, I am really happy with the state of that game. Like I will
Yeah,
happily play it for years and years to come.
I don't know that it needs a whole lot more.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
Except Xenos Titans.
Yeah. I wouldn't say no to that, but the game is also so tight and balanced, and for all the reasons because there aren't as many options.
There aren't 20 factions. Yeah,
there aren't all those factions you have to balance. So it's a very very solid little game.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is why I'm not a game designer, but I don't know what else they'll do for that game. I mean, you can add more Titans. You can.
Mommy's been throwing treats.
Oh, okay. You have 3,100 points of. Oh wait, Raptors is a Space Marine faction. That must be what he's saying. I thought he meant like Chaos Raptors. I was like, 3,100 points of Raptors.
Yeah. Raptors are the.
Yeah,
I think you called that last episode of one of your
cool looking.
Your favorite with the green and the eagle head.
Yeah,
it's
so
a raptor
cool.
head, not an eagle head. Hey, eagles are raptors too.
Uh-oh.
I'm just talking to myself over here.
Is that correct, Shell?
No, Arya got stuck on cables.
I'm saying are eagles raptors? They are.
Yes, eagles are raptors.
Okay. Just checking Josh.
He's fact checking my my
Not
live
all
stream.
raptors are eagles.
Fact checking you.
That is
but
correct.
But what did you say? Not all eagles are?
Not all raptors are eagles. But
no,
all eagles
of course.
are
no.
raptors.
Yeah. If you're getting technical. So one of the things we're going to do when we're in Australia and not at Adepticon is we're going to the Australia Zoo, which is the one started by...
Good luck getting out alive.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah. So Shell is
one of my all-time heroes.
Huge into zoos, and loves Steve Irwin.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be awesome.
And so that is kind of, I think, Shell, that may be the best zoo in the world, is what I hear.
Is that what you hear?
That's what I hear. That's what you say.
Well, yeah, because I want to go there.
Okay. Guess what?
So when we went to Austria, we went to the oldest zoo in the world.
That is true.
In Vienna.
Oh, interesting.
God, Austria was so cool. Austria was really, really impressive, man.
I mean, I think when we're in Australia, we're going to go to 2 zoos.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, too, is how they say in Australia, all the animals are trying to kill you and whatnot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Craig Maloney, who's a member of the group, the Facebook group, and has been a listener for years, lives in Australia. He lives in Perth. We're going to stay with him and his wife and kid for a week or so.
Nice.
We've kind of become good friends online, and we occasionally do like calls and play a couple of video games and stuff together. He's really, really nice and super smart. He races cars. He has like 15 cars or something. It's crazy.
Nice.
Anyway,
super into F1 also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is their
we're
first.
We're going to go the F1 race with them in Melbourne.
And this is their first F1 race they've ever gone to. So they're
nice.
really excited. They're really excited about it. Craig got stung in the foot by a bee just recently, but the bee stung him directly into his bloodstream, and it nearly killed him. I didn't know this was something that could happen.
Oh, interesting. And he's not allergic to bees, but
no,
nope.
Just
his wife happens to like. I don't want to say she's like a paramedic, but she has like first aid training and such, and she was right there, and it's probably because she was there that he's. They got him to a hospital right away, and he's okay. But he was like, man, for a couple of days, it was awful.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, is that just Australian bees? Or is that... Shell, you may come back a widow. I'm just saying.
It's a chance in a gazillion that happens. Like not even a million or a billion. Like that was
Okay, but they have
one of the most freakish accidents.
Yeah, but that's just bees. There's
That's
so
just
many other
bees.
things that
There's-
occur.
that's right. There's jellyfish
We're not okay.
that'll
Are we going in the water?
Snakes,
I don't know.
crocodiles,
Probably
great
not.
white
I wanna
sharks.
go in the water.
I don't think so. It's going to be winter time when we're there.
No, it's fall.
Okay. Well,
It's absolutely not winter. It's fall.
okay.
It's mid-fall.
You call it whatever you want to call it.
I'm calling it what it actually
It's going to
is.
be okay, but it's going to be cold.
No, it's not. Fall is beautiful weather.
I hope so. I hope so. We got to hit up Jeremy Wood too. I'm supposed to hit him up because he said
Saltwater gators don't scare me at all.
he said he said that if we come out there, he would give us a ride. He's a boat captain,
Oh yeah.
like a sailboat on the harbor, like big.
He owns a.
I don't know if he owns it,
He
but I
does.
think he owns the business.
He owns the boat. And the
Jeez,
business.
and it's a. I hesitate to call it a boat. I almost want to call it a ship. Like
It is a ship.
it's a real,
Yeah.
it's a real thing, man. And
That's awesome.
and yeah, so we're going to hit him up, and we'd love to go for a ride on his vessel. I'll call it his
What
vessel.
if we played a game of 40K on the vessel?
I don't like that.
We're not taking in the army.
No, I'm not gonna take.
Hey, that you would top Loopy's 40K game in a swimming pool,
I know. I know.
and that's
Nobody
hard
can
to top. That's something special.
Nobody can really top Loopy in a lot of ways.
Nope.
So I was gonna ask a question. I forgot what it is already. Okay, I'm like, oh, I know what it was. All right, Josh, look at my camera. I've got this Space Marine helmet. Shark on.
Oh yeah.
All right, I didn't put a shark on Abaddon. I did all salamanders because you used to play salamander and Jeff used to play salamanders. Jeff doesn't play 40K anymore. I wonder if he even has his stuff.
That's a good question.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh shoot!
But
I
okay,
got it, Arya.
I'll do him shark. Okay, my metallics on Marines are done. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Here we go.
You want my color recipe for it specifically?
For the tanks?
For my Sharkadons for the helmet?
Yeah. Send that over to me because I'm gonna replicate that bad boy right there.
You got a slew of Vallejo paints?
Yeah, I do. Ari agrees.
Hi, Mama. Want another treat? Come here, girl. Oh, you know what I have for you?
So yeah,
That would actually look cool because the gray on top and then the white faceplate,
I think that
I think will stand out nicely
I agree.
and gives me a good reason to come fight you.
Shell's making a bunch of crunchy noise in the microphone.
I'm sorry, I was giving the cat a treat.
I can mute you. You're done?
I'm done.
Okay, that's fine. She's in trouble.
Trying to entertain the pets.
I know. Otherwise, Arya starts making all kinds of noise. Kenna tries to jump up on my desk. Shell's an animal person, big time.
Yep.
And my Siberian Husky's getting a little old.
So we spoil her every chance we get.
This is different. Hi, Call Ray.
Yeah, I got my
think-
little
I think
old
we're
man
trying-
dog keeping me company over here.
Trying something. Josh's dog cracks me up because Josh's dog is what's the breed? It's hairless
Unique.
for one.
Josh's
The-
dog is unique.
Yeah, the full breed name is Sholoitz Quintley, which is more commonly known as Mexican
Gesundheit.
hairless. Yeah,
Mexican hair. And missing some teeth.
he's missing some teeth
So his tongue sticks out the side of his mouth all the time.
all the time. He's got
And
so
what's
much personality.
And what's his name?
Dobby.
Dobby. For those Harry Potter people out there.
Dobby the Sholo. He looks like Dobby. He's got
And
the
let me tell you,
personality.
he looks like the Dobby in the movies. Like
I wanted to name him Schmeagol after Lord of the Rings because
that would have been
that's-
better.
good.
That's
hair.
my nerd flag showing over there, where my wife is the Harry Potter fan.
That would have been better. Schmeagol would have been good too.
His personality is pretty fitting for both, so it works.
He's a little bit of a paranoid.
Oh no, who
dog.
let Lars in?
Oh boy, there's Lars. Here come the puns. Yeah, Dobby is a crack up of a dog, and so funny to look at. And you know what's weird? I'm going to pick on your dog a little bit here, John. You know what's weird is when you pet a hairless dog, and I'll bet it's the same for hairless cats. I've never pet a hairless cat. They're very warm. Like their skin is super warm.
Yeah, so dogs, like humans are what 98.6 degrees,
Something like that. Yeah.
where dogs, especially puppies, are more 102 to 104 degrees.
Oh, that's why you can cook an egg on his back.
So they are warmer. The puppies, I think, usually run closer to 104. So it's funny. This was the Aztecs breed of dog. They're completely naturally evolved thousands of years ago. So very primitive, instinctual breed. Not great for families. But they would actually use them for like a hot compress to treat arthritis and things like that thousands of years ago, because these
they were so warm.
little naked puppies are just radiating heat.
That's so funny. Who made the decision that was the breed of dog you guys wanted?
That would be my wife.
I suspected as much.
He's great though, and I'm his favorite person in the world, which always irks her.
Sound familiar?
What?
But he's a good little dude.
Yeah, he's funny. Once he settles down, once I come over.
Dobby likes me a lot when I have chicken.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody with chicken.
Yeah, because they're such a primitive breed. Like you really have to meet him, 6 to 8 times before he's like, okay, you're in the pack now.
Right. Yeah. He does not like people just generally coming over.
Definitely not. Yeah.
While Arya here, my husky, just wants to smell everybody that comes over and hang out.
Yeah. Some of those pictures you've posted in years past of just like preschool kids climbing all over, or kindergarten kids climbing all over. It's like, yeah, no, that's Dobby's nightmare fuel right there.
Yeah, no, that I remember that day that Shell would do she was a kindergarten teacher at the time, and she would do a sharing day, for every kid was like
Student of the week.
Student of the week. It's a kid of the week, brat of the week. And they would get to one of those days bring in something from home and share it. And sometimes it was a
family
pet
member
or a family member. Yeah.
Or a pet.
And so Shell she would have a week assigned to her, and she would share stuff about our kid or animal. And we brought Arya in, and this was shortly after we had Arya. We'd had her for a year or so. And we brought her in, and I was a little nervous about it, but I knew she was really good with kids in general, and man, she just showed her chops in that. The kids just mauled her, and she just laid down and loved it. It was hysterical.
She literally went around the circle of kids.
Yeah.
And
big
licked
happy teddy bear.
every single one.
Licked every single one. As
And
they sat there
then
and they
laid
laughed.
down in the middle of the group of kids.
And they mauled her.
And it was all, I couldn't keep them off of her.
It
And she loved it.
was hysterical. We were a little like, oh, and the dog was fine. Just laid down, turned on its back, rubbed my belly. So she's a good dog. American hairless terriers. Are those? I imagine those are also very warm to the touch. Aren't Chihuahuas hairless too? Or Chihuahuas?
No, they have
hair.
lots of hair.
Nope.
I don't know.
It's very short, bristly.
They have little fine hair, short fine hair.
I stay away from Chihuahuas.
No, they shed like crazy.
Do they really?
Mhm.
Yeah, my in-laws have a Chihuahua that sheds all over the place.
Interesting. Our husky does shed a lot. Tansy, our corgi, before she passed, she shed quite a bit.
She shed quite a bit.
And she had short hair.
But she had the double coat as well.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's part of it.
That's true. You know what? You know what I'm painting right now, Josh? I'm painting pipes. I'm giving them 3 strokes.
How many strokes?
3 strokes and they're done.
Did you move on to your rhinos?
No, I'm doing the back of the Kratos right now.
Nice.
Yeah, it was funny. When Steve came over, I was showing him the paint job. I said, I don't even know why I painted the bottom of these treads. Just for sake of completeness.
Yeah. It's been interesting in that I've been like the first 2 I did, I painted everything, and then I painted just the inside lip of the underneath. So if it like tips a little bit, it'll look that way. And then I was like, you know what?
Just do it. Takes half a second.
Yeah.
I mean, it's half a second totaled by like 100.
You just need lots of them.
All right. Onto the treads. The Kratos is a cool looking tank, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's a cool. I am looking forward to when I can get some. I have all these painted, and I can get some Sicarans and some Predators.
Yeah, I'm hoping as I paint my, I think I have 9 of each.
Jesus. How many are you fielding? Like in a 2,000 point game, how many of those are you fielding? How many Kratos are you fielding?
I think 6 Kratos in 2,000 points.
So we got a question from.
Are you going to answer it?
Pinocchio's a lie.
Go for it.
Yeah, we are. Next time we do this, we're going to. Here's the little tank I'm painting. Next time we do this, we're actually going to have cameras pointing at the surface that we're painting on, so that we can demonstrate that. We knew we wanted to do that. This is more of a, I don't know, proof of concept for us at the moment to just make sure the technology we were embracing would work, and it is. And we thought we would just hang out with people and let them ask questions, and we could get some actual scheduled hobby progress done, which I need the scheduling. So next time we do this, we will indeed have 2 cameras each, one pointing at what we're doing. So hang tight. You know, the other thing
I think what I just heard them say is they'd rather see what you're working on than your faces.
That's probably
that's what I heard.
You know what? You're probably not wrong.
I mean, you're not wrong.
We'll set that up for next time so you can opt out of our faces.
We'll have both. I will hold up what I'm working on just to the camera here, which at the moment there's probably not great light.
Yeah, good. Not great lighting.
I'm working on little here back here, give it a little bit better light. I'm just doing all the black work on the one of my Sicarans. And I've just been doing all the black work on all my tanks here.
I'm doing the metallics on my tanks. It's a little over here. Kratos. As you can see, I'm starting to do the bottom. I don't know why, but I am. And I just completed a whole bunch of Black Legion, the metallics on Black Legion. They're going to get
Good
a wash
point.
here.
It's not even your faces they see; it's the top of your head.
I know. Here, you know what I can do?
I did apologize for that earlier.
What if? Let's see if this is a crappier angle. Hang on.
Yeah, I guess I could see.
There. Now you can see my face as I work.
And I go like this way. There we go. That's me.
And you'll constantly see me sticking my tongue out. I had again. Oh, you know what else is going to be cool? Josh, at the end of this month.
I love it, Bryce. It's perfect.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right, Bryce. And it's just a couple triangles used. One of the things that's really cool is at the end of this month, Josh and I are going to be on Build, Paint, and Play with Dave Taylor and his channel.
That's right.
That'll be kind of fun.
That's next week.
That is next week. I'm looking forward to it. I love Dave.
It's a good thing you got some hobby progress going.
I know. He asked that we could send some pictures of stuff we've been working on. I'm like, sure.
Oh yeah. I just got my tableware mat, my Urban Titan mat for Legions Imperialis yesterday.
Todd said
Showed
he
up.
had sent that out.
There was that weather delay, so it took a little while to get here, but it's here now, and I want to set up my fully painted 2,000 point list on
would be
that with
cool.
terrain and everything like that. So
That would be cool to see.
I'll send that over your way to include for Dave's show.
Yeah, Dave and I became really good friends at Adepticon. Actually, we were talking about family. I don't even know how it happened. We were at the bar, and we were just talking. And I was supposed to have come back to see Kat and Caleb, and I forgot because Dave and I were just so engaged in what we were talking about, and I was just hammered by the time. I was like, "Oh my god, I was supposed to go back like an hour ago," and they were holding my stuff. Like they had a bunch of stuff I had bought too. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. But Dave and I just really hit it off there. And I came back. I remember coming back from Adepticon, and I've made so many friends at Adepticon. For those of you going, man, I'm telling you, if you haven't gone before and you're just going, or you've gone before and you've just gone with friends, don't be shy. Like, meet people, and it is such a great community there.
Yeah.
And
I'll have my IC shirt on all weekend there, and 100%. If you guys want to come up and say hi, I'd love to meet as many of you as possible.
Yeah, come up to Josh. Like, he's not used to that. But Dave and I just hit it off, and I had always known Dave as like kind of a semi-famous guy because he had worked, he was a big name in the hobby for a long time, and worked at Games Workshop and was very well known, and yeah, we just kind of hit it off, and then I was very fortunate to bring Shell to Adepticon a couple of times. But like when we went to Adepticon the first time, Shell, I was like, here's the people I want you to meet. It was like Matt Weeks and Damon and
Yep.
Dave Taylor, and it's just such a enjoyable group of people that we've been fortunate enough to fall in with there.
Our people.
Yeah, they're totally our people, and they actually do. They're preparing for Adepticon right now, and they just do these things where everybody comes over to Hank's place and they paint. And Hank's setup is insane. Like, he has these long, probably 10 or 12-foot tables set up in a U-shaped format. They've got air compressors and airbrushes, like a dozen of them. Everybody sits there and paints. I flew out there one year just to go paint with them.
Uh-huh.
I would have loved to have gone this year, but I just, the money's not there. But man, it's just such a great time, and Hank's wife like prepares all this food for everybody, and just we all just hang out and paint and get so much done. And it was fun because then when we got to Adepticon, Shell and I were walking around, and I'd be like, see that? I painted that. See that thing on that table? I painted all those.
And that was just terrain for like 40K events?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was working on 40K events at that time. Some people were working on my Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like, the level of... Yeah, Dave's book, Smushed is right. Dave's books are amazing. I have 3 or 4 of them at this point. I have 4 or 5 of them at this point. I got the dungeon one he put out too. I really, really like that one.
Hobby guru Dave Taylor.
Yeah, he's so freaking talented. But man, I got to tell you, the level of effort and stuff that they do for Adepticon on the terrain alone is, you think about the big 3. You think about Nova, Adepticon, and LVO, and having seen behind the scenes at multiple of these at this point. I have been closer to behind the scenes at Adepticon than the others, but I'm well aware of what's going on. The amount of effort and energy that goes into the prepping for that convention is insane. And just on the terrain alone. Like they are painting so much terrain, and they paint it to such high standards. You know, like I was there to help them, and I'm like, I hope I can paint as well as they need me to paint. And I could, you know, but it was cool too, because obviously I'm sitting there with like Dave and Damon. Damon's a Golden Demon winner, you know, and they're like, okay,
Sitting there having a blast, just bringing the average down.
yep, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
I'm sure
But
you did great.
I did fine. But they would also, you know, help. Like they helped me learn a few things.
Yeah.
As,
Hey, it's
as
a free
we're doing
class.
it. It was fantastic. It was 2 days of that. 2 days of that. And it was, boy, Chicago is cold in the winter. Man. Oh my God.
It was snowing at Adepticon last year.
Oh, Jeff's doing the Four Warlords with Dave. Says hi, Call Ray. Yeah. That's a great show. It's a great show. Dave's they're fun. They're fun. I don't know what we're going to talk about for 2 hours with them, but I didn't know what we were going to talk about for 2 hours here. So there you go.
Hang out, talk
Shell,
shop.
Shell says I talk too much.
Thought of my husband not knowing what to talk about is hysterical.
I think we went through all my
Do your checklist
my
there.
checklist here of things I was going to talk about. So
Yeah, it's good to have just a loose.
yeah,
I got 10 minutes of filler information.
I got to fill. Oh, geez, we only got 10 minutes left. I got to get these done.
Got to stretch for time. Come on,
I
I only
thought-
have one tank left.
Dude, I've done
I think Josh is winning.
It's not,
eight.
it's not a competition, but I'm totally winning.
It's not a competition, but Josh is winning.
I've done 8 Space Marines. Damn it, I thought I did 10. I've done 8 Space Marines, a Kratos, and I'm working on a Rhino right now.
Eight.
I'm
I mean, that's
finishing.
not even a complete squad. That
Shut
counts
up.
as 0.
Well, one's actually completely done because he was my test model. The other
So
one
you
I
didn't
don't-
even do that today.
No, I did that before. I had the test model done before.
Yeah.
That's how I know what to do on these guys. Josh, that's how it works.
Did you make notes? Because like test model you probably did years ago at this rate, right? I'm not
Listen.
to be a jerk.
Listen, you may be right. It was at least 6 months ago.
Okay.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
So
note.
last year, that's a year.
I did do notes. I have notes on exactly what I'm doing on these guys. I do need to do my notes for my Legions Imperialis stuff though, so I don't mess that up. And you have convinced me to do black on the doors, the back, the hatch doors, and the side doors.
Yeah, nice.
I am doing, for those who don't know, I am doing Sons of Horus, sticking with the whole Black Legion Abaddon
Yeah.
thing.
Some people I have seen are either doing the Legion icon
Uh-huh.
on those doors. Like you could do the Legion icons on the side hatches, and then you could
Yeah.
also put the battlefield role, like whether it's close support or troops or things like that, on the up top doors.
On the hatch. That's
Yeah.
actually a good idea.
I've seen people go both ways on that. The up top gives you a little bit more of a just more space, so you have
Yeah.
a larger
I think
kind of
I might
canvas to work
do
with.
exactly what you just said, which is the
Yeah.
the Sons of Horus logo on the doors, and the whatever it is, arrow or whatever you want to do on the top of the Rhino.
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna take a look. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a look at my old Horus Heresy books and look at the hardbacks. All those the black books, and see what the Sons of Horus, how they're represented there, and maybe that'll help me make some decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those books are stellar.
I had, I think, one full color transfer left from my Horus Heresy 30K 28 millimeter army transfer sheet that would fit on a double Rhino door. So I put that on top just to call a little extra attention for my command Rhino.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Now that I think about it, I should give you all the decals for the 1,000 Suns, and I should take your Horus Heresy.
Yeah,
your Sons
absolutely.
of Horus decals.
I've got
Because
several.
I think I'm going to need
several sets of those.
more white ones.
Okay, yeah, you are welcome to everything I got. You and Brian are the only ones I know doing that, and I think Brian has decals aplenty with all the actual Horus Heresy stuff he's done.
Yeah, I always wanted to do Sons of Horus. I really like the sea green, seafoam.
It's
green.
A cool color, yeah.
I like how mine came out. Using, by the way, Army Painter speed paints to get that green that I wanted. Oh, and it went right over black, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Green is a very heavily pigmented paint. So.
Yeah. Then I dulled it down with a wash, a black wash, Army Painter dark wash. I'm doing the pipes right now. Boom. There's stroke 2.
Stroke 2.
Prepare yourself. Yeah, and man, I got exactly what I was hoping it was going to do.
Are you thinking oil wash at the end there, or are you good with the wash that you did and you think it's...
I was going to do oil wash, but then you came over and you looked at it, you're like, yeah, those look kind of already, I don't know.
It'll give you a little bit more contrast in there, but since you've already washed just to get your color where you want it for the green itself,
I feel like it might dull it down even more.
Might not. It probably would. It depends. If you do a gloss coat before you do the oil wash,
that was the plan.
It's really going to be a panel liner more so than a full like filtering, kind of desaturation. It won't do as much. Depending on how you set it up.
Good God, these guys are tiny.
The
infantry are worse. Oh, they're so painful for me.
I just finished the candy red earlier today, taking advantage of a rare sunny day here in this storm we've been having, to finish all the candy red on the last of my infantry.
Yeah, I've got one more tank to go. One more tank. I got 3 minutes to do it. Can it be done?
It's a race against time. No, I've got one more to go to, and I don't think it's...
This is not exactly hard, though.
That's not all the colors, obviously.
I think Carl did a bunch of painting of them on the sprue.
I did, of the infantry.
Yeah.
But I now need to cut those sprues up to get a little more access.
Yeah, I can show... I'll grab one of mine real quick, but I'll show you how I've been painting.
Okay. I'm sure you're doing it the same way that Austin is. Austin painted all of my Titans.
I gotta switch here to see what the camera actually sees. So cutting the sprues up this, so that you have really good access all around your minis. You cut off the tops, the gates, all the things in between there. And then your sprays, your base coats, etc., get everywhere, and it just gives you really good access and a nice handle there, so you're not smudging details. And this is definitely the way to paint infantry.
Nice. Austin sent me pictures of him doing that too.
Yeah.
Before I started. All right, I got how many minutes left, Shell? 3. Okay, I'm at 3. It's probably almost 2. Got 2 pipes done. Exhaust pipes. Done. We've got the weapons to do and the other side. Okay. Almost done. These, I mean, I'm telling you, these, for those who don't have them yet, man, these Legions Imperialis guys, one of the problems, I usually don't have problems with my hand shaking, but they're so tiny that sometimes my hand shakes holding it. I should probably mount it on a pill bottle or something.
You got to put your dirt goggles back on.
Yeah, I probably do. My what did they call those in the Army? When you got the big thick glasses, they called them birth control glasses. These big ugly brown glasses back in the 80s. I don't know what they do now.
Lasers.
Probably LASIK. Spoiled guys now. Yeah, man. I'm glad those guys are in the Army because I was terrible in the Army. All right. Just the stovepipe things to do here. And it'll be on to washes. But I made some significant freaking progress in these couple hours, Josh. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, same. I got
I
all. I didn't finish my vehicles, but I did get all the black work done except for this last tank I'm working on right now.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing about these vehicles too, like I said, only was working on one color tonight, but there's only 4 colors on the tank once I've got the red done. So
yeah, you're not doing a whole lot. Like for me, it's the metal. It's the green. The green is the base, the metallic, and then a black. And you're putting decals on, man. It's super fast.
And I'm starting with the colors I'm covering the most with. So black is the biggest step, and then metallic's going to be very quick. And a little bit of white, a little bit of gold, done.
1 minute to spare.
Yeah, look at that. I'll pull my camera over here so I can show you guys kind of what I've been.
I'll pull my finish pile.
Yeah, let me put my finish pile kind of here. It's probably not the best lighting and the best camera. We'll get better at this, but I just want to give some people a look here. How much play I have. So these are there. These are all. That's terrible lighting. I'm sorry. It's too bright for a camera. But these are all the Black Legion guys. I just did all the metallic on. And then here's the Legions Imperialis guys. God, this is hard to do. There, I gotta look at it like this. There we go. I'm assuming that's showing on the whole camera. Anyway, I have a different view. But yeah, those are the Legions Imperialis tanks. Like they take hardly any time at all. I just have some black to do on them. And then these are all the Black Legion guys I'm working on. I got to pop them off their bases to put on the resin bases I have for them.
Man, that's a whole slew of handles.
That's fast. Yeah. I love those painting handles. And I would have been much better off with the putting these on pill bottles, the little tanks and stuff. I think.
Yeah.
They're so tiny to hold. So
a big part of the reason why I did that, the matte clear coat on top of these over the candy red, is just that me just holding the miniatures to paint them, I was smudging so much paint off. And I actually learned this while painting all my planes for Aeronautica Imperialis, because this is the exact same red technique there. So I was like, oh, you know what? If I do a matte clear coat to actually do all my detail painting over, I'm going to.
You mean the game we killed when we did a review?
Yep, exactly.
All right. Well, listen, man. Hey, thanks, Ale. I appreciate that. I know it's blurry. We'll get. It's not on your end. It's on our end. I'll have a better setup for next time. But we are going to do this again. But I'm super excited about what I got accomplished here. Literally I just have a few steps left for these Black Legion guys, and then I've got a squad done effectively. Then it's on to the next squad. You know, I've already got them based and like kind of highlighted, so I got to just do all the stuff. Yeah, I'll put pictures up in Facebook and Discord as well. Great point. Actually, let me take a quick shot here while I'm thinking about it. Otherwise, I will forget. But listen, guys, thanks for joining us real quick on this just kind of test of something we're looking at doing in the future here.
Future ones will be announced with more time,
more planning, more time, and we'd love people to hobby with us. And in fact, what we would like to do is, if people are hobbying with us and they're working on something, we can actually pull you into the video and have you join us for a short period just to show us what you're working on too. And we'd love to like kind of make it a little more interactive and that kind of thing. So
yeah, absolutely.
What point total am I at Black Legion? Painted, King? Bryce, is that what you're asking?
How many points is Abaddon?
How many points is Abaddon? I've got Abaddon and a Terminator squad done. Abaddon and a Terminator squad. And then I want to do some more on some of the rhinos. So, yeah, not a whole lot completed, painted yet. I've been dragging my heels on it forever. So, yes, I will keep working. I agree. I agree with you 100%. So, listen, guys, thanks so much for joining us. And again, we'll give more announcement, but Josh and I are trying to do this regularly. So maybe even weekly, that would help me progress, Josh. So, yeah. So, hey, thanks so much. And we will talk to you guys again very soon. And the new episode drops tonight at midnight. So you'll have it available available for download at midnight. Cool. Take care, everybody.
Until next time.
And Shell, thanks for moderating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right.